What's up, everyone? It's Tia, and today we're going to work through a quick hip mobility focus session. So let's meet on our spines. Coming to your back, reaching the arms out in a goalpost position. Feet about mat distance apart. Let's just start by rocking the knees side to side. It's like little windshield wipers. And at this point, we're not looking for a lot of engagement or intention, but just moving those legs. Getting a bit of blood flow. And just working through some gentle internal and external rotation. Now let's let those legs come back up through center. We'll just straighten the left leg to the earth, pulling that right knee up to the chest. Just give it a little squeeze, maybe rocking the knee side to side and creating a little bit of space through the pelvis. Switching sides, right leg coming down, left leg pulling up this time. Same movement here, just a little bit of rocks, oscillations, as we create a bit of space. Sending that left leg back, right leg comes up, this time grabbing the hamstring. Now, if holding the hamstring feels uncomfortable, you're more than welcome to use a yoga strap or even a tie from a robe, just something to help you support the thigh. Okay. Now, the name of the game here is to keep the thigh and the belly connected. So as I start to straighten the leg, I'm making sure the thigh isn't pulling away from its starting position. Leg doesn't have to get fully straight, or just working through the limitations of the body. Let's go one more, straighten it up, take a pause. Then just start to draw circles through the right ankle. We'll go the opposite direction. Beautiful. Finish it off, dropping that right leg down. Let's switch it over. Grab onto the left hamstring. Always welcome to use a strap here. Once again, snuggle the thigh towards the belly as close as you can get it, and then lock that there as you start to bend and straighten that leg. Now, one side is always a little tighter, so don't worry about it. You're feeling that tension right now. Just breathe through it. Let's go last one. Straighten it out, little pause, drawing circles to the ankle. Let's go the opposite direction. Nice. All right, from there, release the leg, left leg comes down, and let's meet on our sit bones. So we're rolling all the way up. And then we'll start a 90-90. Really similar to what we did on the floor. This time, feet are wide, about mat distance. Drop the legs to the right, adding a little more intention. So left knee comes up, drag the heel towards the earth, and really open it up until you feel the hip joint activate. From there, then start to chase with the other leg. So opening up that right leg, open it up as wide as you can, and then start to follow the opposite. Still that 90-90, just a little more intention here as we create more strength through the hips. Go about one more each way, rocking the right and the left. And we'll finish it up. No fall. All right, let's come into a 90-90 position. So I'm going to start with my right shin parallel to the short side of the mat. the left shin parallel to the long side. We'll start with a little bit of hinging, so hands could be placed onto the mat, otherwise you could keep them lifted. On the inhale, we'll shift forward, belly toward thigh. On the exhale, we shift back. And don't worry about how deep you're going here. Just think about that stretch that you're feeling through that front leg. Really think about flexing the feet, and keeping the knees planted to the mat. Let's do one more full hinge. Nice. And then we'll hinge again, this time staying, hands come to the mat. Now gaze back to the left foot. We're going to lift up this foot. Pick it up, drop it down. Now, if this is a new movement for you, you may not be lifting the foot that high. That's okay. Even if the foot is hardly moving, still try. Think about engaging those muscles. And with more consistency, you will one day begin to lift that foot up. And we're tapping it really quietly to the earth, really softly down. We're not letting it drop and fall. Let's go for 3, 2. Last one, we're just lifting and holding here. Stay with me for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Foot comes down. Start to shift the weight back. So we're just sitting up right now. And we'll lift up the knee. Same thing, lifting that knee. Now, when I'm doing this, I'm at the same time trying to keep my hip bone planted down instead of pulling the hip and the glute up with that knee. Hope that makes sense. That's going to help you keep a little more engaged through that glute. Going for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, pick it up and hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Leg comes down. Now the gaze goes to the front leg. So imagine you're taking a skewer from the knee to the heel, and that whole leg is going to come up together. Hands plant and lift. Now right off the bat, you may notice that you are not lifting the whole shin off the mat right away. That's okay. It could start that you're just lifting the knee. And then as we get stronger, maybe the shin starts lifting, maybe the foot starts lifting. Wherever you are today, the engagement is coming through the inner thigh or the adductor, the front leg, in my case, the right leg. Holding for 3, 2. Last one, lift it up and pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, placing it down. All right, swing the back leg forward and just give yourself a little wiggle. You may just want to rock those feet side to side, whatever feels good. Just take a few moments in that counter pose before we roll through to the other side. So meet me back into that 90-90. This time, left shin parallel to the short side of the mat, right shin parallel to the long side, starting with our hinges. Maybe hands to the floor, maybe hands lifted. Feet flex, knees to the earth, shift forward, and slide it back. All right, shift forward and pause, hands to earth, gaze towards that back leg and lift that foot, up it down. Remember, we're lowering it in a really nice, soft manner. So drop it down, as I said. We want to have a little more intention than that. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, little lift and pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Placing that foot down, kind of rolling up a touch. And now we'll focus on the knee. Lift that knee, tap it down. So as the knee lifts, we're thinking about pulling the hip bone towards the earth rooting the pelvis to the mat. Picking this guy up. That way we get better engagement through the glute. Last 4, 3, 2. That's one little lift and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Placing it down. Now we focus on that front leg. So ideally, we're picking up the whole shin from knee to heel. But if that's not working for you today, knee is fine to start. Plant the fingers, belly tight, and lift. Almost there. 3, 2, last one. Holding. 3, 2, and 1. Place it down. All right, swing those legs forward. Give them a little wiggle, just like we did before. We're almost done here. Just a few more shapes. So meet me in a hands and knees position or a quadruped position. Fingers spread, toes tucked. Now I just want you to send one foot off your mat. Think of pulling the hip towards the earth and sliding the inner thighs together. We'll rock the hip back toward the heel. I'm just gonna go for 5. Inhale, little shift forward. Try to keep that plank spine. 4, 3, last 2. Almost like we're tilting the tailbone to the back wall as we shift the hip to the heel. Last 1 here. Little shift back, and then just pause in your tension. Once again, think of pulling the inner thighs together. We're breathing for 3, 2, and 1. Little shift forward. Sweep that leg back in our quadruped position, and just start to make little circles through that hip joint for me. 3, 2. With that last circle, stepping the right foot outside of the right hand. We'll take a deep bend through the right knee, and then we'll exhale, straighten that right leg. Well, again, don't worry about how deep you're getting here. Just move and flow. Finding that active stretch and using your breath to dictate how fast and how deep you're going. The last 2. All right, last one. Straighten that leg and then sweep that right hand high to the sky. Gaze over those fingers. Think of pulling those inner thighs together. Not here for too long, I promise. Just big breath in. And exhale, let it come down. Then back to the right knee. And just sweep the weight back. Now we'll move to the other side. I'm just spinning around so you have a good view of that lengthened leg. The opposite leg pops off the mat. Think of pulling the hip bone down, inner thighs pulling together. Belly is strong. We'll rock the hip back to the heel. So remember, your depth is totally up to you. Don't feel like you have to push or force yourself into a depth that is not serving you today. Right, we're just trying to get the blood flowing, just trying to tune in with some active stretch variations for the hips. Hitting 1 more rep here. Rock it back, and then just hold to breathe with me for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shifting it forward. All right, slide that leg in. We're hitting a few hip circles here. All right. Elbow pulls to knee, circle it around. Let's go for 3, 2, and last 1. Left foot steps outside of left hand. Inhale, deep bend through the knee. Exhale, straighten it out, sweep it back. Just rocking through a few of these. Once again, working through your limitation. Don't worry about your depth. Just worry about what you feel and connecting with those long, deep cycles of breath. Last 2. Last one. And that leg is straight. Take a pause and sweep that left hand up and over. I'm thinking of squaring my hips, gazing over that finger, shoulders pull back, big stretch through the hamstring. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Hands come down and back through the left knee. And let's just shift our weight back for child's pose. Big toes pull together, knees wide, hands forward, and just let the heart melt. Taking a few long, deep breaths here. Feeling those sensations dance over the body. And just sending a little bit of empathy for all the things that were tough today. And a little bit of gratitude for all the things that weren't. Now, my friend, you can stay here as long as you want, resting out. If you're all finished, so is the session. Thank you so much for joining me for a quick hip mobility, and I'll see you for the next one.